What is good? Fuck, good. Everyone. Shoobs here. This is so scuffed. Finally, we're here. This is by far the most requested video from all the comments and DMs. The typing test on the Boba U4Ts is somehow my most popular video. I guess a lot of people are interested in this switch, which is completely understandable. Let me give you a quick too long didn't watch for this review, but please watch it. I put a lot of time and money into this video. These are really fucking good. Just a preface to the review, I won't be going into any force graphs, charts, and all that stuff. I'm not dissing them or invalidating them, but personally I don't look at them when deciding on a switch. I simply go by feel and comparison to the actual switches that I've tried and have on hand and all that, you know. I'll be putting the bumps on these tactile switches within two very simple, non-overly technical categories, which is sharp or rounded. Sharp would be a tactile bump with harsher feedback and a near instant bottom out, while a rounded is a smoother bump with a bit of travel before or after the tactile event. You get the idea. I like to keep these things, you know, pretty simple. I said simple too many times. So some info on the Boba U4Ts themselves. The Gazoo Boba U4Ts are switches created by the genius that is Gazoo, who many know from the Boba U4 silent switches as well as silent linear stems. These switches are manufactured by Otemu and feature a super secret mystery plastic construction that Gazoo says is quieter than nylon and as smooth as polycarbonate. Currently, these switches are available in only 3 places, which is 3D Keebs, Ringer Keys, and directly from Gazoo himself. This list might change in the future, but please support these small vendors. They're all great people. I'll leave the links to the sites down below. Be sure to follow and join their discords as well, which I will also link in order to keep up to date on the restocks for these, because they tend to sell out fast. I'm not sponsored by anyone. Cause I'm small as hell, dude. But I just like supporting good guys in this current situation, and we should try to support small businesses, especially within this small niche hobby of ours. Also, in order to buy directly from Gazoo himself, you should check his Reddit user page, which is u/HBHeroinBob. He has a sticky post with all the parts that he currently has in stock, and you can even buy bases and stems separately to make Franken switches such as Holy Bobas. That's crazy. I don't think I know anyone else that is doing this. What a goddamn legend. Okay, let's get on with the actual comparison. I actually have a ton of Holy Franken switch variants as well as other popular tactiles to compare these U4Ts to. The switches go as follows: Cherry MX Browns, Zealios V2s, JWK/Durock T1s, Glorious Pandas, Holy Pandas, Pacos, Holy Bobas, Zykos, and Bykos. You might be wondering why I put so many Halo Holy Franken switches. That's because these Boba U4Ts are super similar to the Halo stems and the switches that derive from them. This makes them a very sharp tactile switch. Let's look at the stems a little closer. Here you can see that the Cherry MX Brown, T1, and Zealios stems all feature a very short stem pole length compared to the Boba U4T and Halo stems. This translates to the switches traveling a longer distance before bottoming out. It also means that the sound of the bottom out will be significantly quieter. Since the Boba U4T stems are long like the Halo stems, it will feature a noticeably louder but also deeper sound with a almost identical travel distance and feel. Here we can see the tactile bumps of each of the stems. I think that in terms of tactility, the Halo and the Zealios have a very sharp feeling to them. However, due to the stem pole length shown before, the Zealios becomes more of a rounded feel in terms of tactility, with a bit of travel before and after the tactile event. The Boba U4Ts have a slightly lesser tactile bump that is a bit sharper than the T1s and less so than the Halo or the Zealios stems, but it features the long pole like the Halos, making the overall feel of the switches to be very similar, but with a slightly less pronounced bump. The tactile leaves of the switches also play a part in the feeling of tactility, and I think that the Zealios leaf is the strongest, with Boba's and Panda leaves extremely close second. The T1s fall much shorter than the others, and the Cherry MX Browns are, well, good for those that want a light tactile experience. With all things considered, I would put the Boba U4T and the Halo Franken switches all within the sharp category, with the Zealios being sharp but rounded in the middle, and the T1s and Cherry MX Browns in the rounded category. Now let's get on with the sound tests. I'll be testing these switches all in the same exact position, which is the Z, since the position of your switch on the board affects the sound heavily. First will be a stock switch, and second will be a loop switch. T1s and Zealios switches have been filmed, but the Boba and Halo Franken switches are not filmed because they don't need any film. The housing is very tight. Hope you enjoyed the sound tests and got a general idea of the sound of the switches. Just be mindful that these tests aren't a 100% accurate representation of the switch's true sound, since everyone's case, plate, desk, and room acoustics are different. So let's talk about the Boba U4T and where it personally stands for me in terms of tactility, sound, and most importantly, value. So first, tactility. Most tactile and least tactile. I'm sorry. Way over here. Okay, so as I was saying, why do I keep saying holy bobas? The Boba U4Ts are slightly less tactile than the Zealios, but the Zealios have like a weird sort of round but sharp sort of tactility. I don't really like it too much. I'd rather go all in on sharp, so I much prefer the Holy Pandas and not the whole and the Halo Franken switches. Pacos, meh. I mean, make them if you have extra stems and NK cream housings laying around, but I wouldn't go ahead and try to get something more out of it, you know. It's not worth the investment. T1s, I don't like T1s. I mean, it's not a bad deal, but they're sort of meh. So, holy Boba U4Ts right here, very good. And these Zykos and Bykos, these are the kings. There's nothing that comes close to how tactile these are. For how loud and quiet these tactiles are, you know, the Halo stem and the Boba U4T stem are longer, and the housings are different from these. These are definitely much louder. I would put Holy Bobas. Oh, wait, I'm gonna adjust this a little bit. Holy Pandas are definitely louder than Holy Bobas and U4Ts, because the Panda housing is pretty loud. But the Zykos, however, are so loud. I don't know what it is. It's so loud. And so is the Bykos. It's slightly less louder than the Zykos though. And the Boba U4Ts are around here. They're definitely louder than Zealios' T1s and Browns and Pacos. But loudness is also sort of, I guess, deepness. And the sound, okay, in terms of deepness, the Boba housings are at the way top. These, anything with the Boba housings, I don't know what kind of plastic gas you injected in this, it's deep as hell and it sounds amazing. I think my favorite sound is from the Boba housings themselves. Finally, the most important part, the cost. So T1s are the cheapest and will run you around 55 cents per switch. Boba U4Ts are around 60 cents per switch. Glorious Pandas are around 70 cents per switch. Zealioses are around $1 per switch. Holy Pandas are around $1.05 or $1.10 per switch to build. Holy Bobas are similar at $1.10 or $1.15. This is, I recommend if you're building Holy Bobas, you buy the base and the top from Gazu himself, buy aftermarket springs, and then buy Halo Trues. This is the cheapest way to build Holy Bobas. Bykos, similar thing, around, in terms of how you build it, but these are around $2 per switch, because you have to buy the Zeal bottoms. And finally, Zykos are a whopping $2.10 per switch. Damn. So let's compare. This is the most expensive, and this is the least. I mean, I guess this is the least expensive, but we'll forget about that. The Boba U4Ts are the second least expensive, but how far is the tactility apart from each other? How good is the performance? Well, the Boba U4Ts are just marginally smaller than the Holy Pandas, Zealioses, and the Zykos. And it is less than half the price of these. There's nothing within the realm of this price that is going to beat the Boba U4Ts. These are literally the king of tactiles in terms of value right now. And honestly, I am very happy and very impressed with Gazoo. I don't know what kind of shit he put into these, but these are very, very good. Man, that was a very long video. Took a while to get all the parts and to edit it, but hopefully you enjoyed watching it. I just wanted to give a shout out to everyone for helping me hit 120 subscribers. Thank you. Anyways guys, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you all in the next one.